How is everybody doing today? Just finishing getting set up here. Turn this down. Hope you're all well. Missed you guys on Monday. We're back today. Had a few people reach out asking, what the heck happened on Monday? DMV appointment. We live in the pandemic era. It takes several months to get in for an appointment. And when you get that appointment, you don't mess around. You go to that appointment. All right, but we are back. We've also got some good feedback from folks. There are some new sounds up on the community drive. We continue our Halloween campaign. I'm going to do some straight production work today. Might do a little bit of sync work. I encourage people to send in video clips that they've been working on or attempting. And I am happy to provide feedback on those things, as are other people in the community, I bet. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn down this music in the background here. And get back to us. All right, here we go. So one of the bits of feedback we had the other day was, hey, it's a bummer that Audio Design Desk is just Mac users only. And we're going to be taking a look at Audio Design Desk in depth as we move along. We might be able to get into it today if there's time, if not for sure on Friday, because I'm super eager. But we'll see if we can get to it today. And there are a lot of choices that you can use for sync stuff, including your own DAW. So everybody can still play along when we do start dipping our toes into the waters of sync and sound design for video work. And getting to know your DAW, as a video player, and how to work with the sounds that you're building in real time is important. Even if your main focus isn't even working with video stuff. It's just kind of interesting to understand the different kinds of potential that your sounds have. What kind of emotions they might be triggering, or what kind of mood they might be setting, helps to kind of put things in context sometimes while you're working. Especially if you're kind of in experimentation or exploration mode. So eager to get started on that. And of course, for those that are wanting to pursue some kind of sound design career, make some money, these things will be pretty necessary moving forward. And for those of you who are producing music or producing sounds for people who make music, this is absolutely applicable and essential to you as well. And I say that because you need to know how people are using your sounds, or how people would like to have your sounds and music presented, right? It's pretty cool seeing how this whole side of the industry has changed over the years, and just how substantial and significant it is. Okay, so the other bit of feedback is people wanted to see some music. It's been a little too long, apparently, between producing actual music. We've been so focused on some sounds. So what I was thinking is we could get the day started with just some random inspiration and see where it goes. And maybe we'll build a quick trailer, or maybe we'll just build a track. We'll see. We'll see what's going on there, what happens. So as I work, you guys feel free to shout out ideas or requests of different types of tools to play with, sounds to create, whatever. And then as more people start flowing in and we start getting more samples added to the community drive, we'll dig back into some sync stuff. In the meantime, I will toss up the link to the sounds. If you want to grab sounds, you can grab them. PJ, welcome. Oh, you did? Oh, dude, I haven't been on Facebook in a minute. I will absolutely check that out. Is this something you want other people to know about right now? It's good to see you, by the way. Because I have just fired up the stream, and I am happy to play some of your music today. Absolutely stoked to hear what you've created. I wish I would have seen that before getting started. Where was I? Oh, yes. So there's the link in the chat for those of you wanting to download sounds from the community drive right now. If you would like to submit sounds to share with the community and have me work on in the live stream, you can send those through to Holler at ohmlab.tv. And I will get them added to the mix. There's also a form we're testing. If you want to be a guinea pig, you can try using the new form. And while I'm waiting for people to start to file in for our project here, I'm just going to start grabbing something at random. Maybe I'll just start at the very top and see what I get into. There was a request for me to show off how to use kontakt instruments specifically. Specifically the more longer standing kind of flagship products in there, like the Heaviosity stuff. So we'll do that. I'm actually talking to Heaviosity behind the scenes as well, looking to get some reviews set up with some of their stuff for you guys as well. Let's see here. I guess it helps to turn on the right output, so I'll do that. And PJ, if you are still there, if you are in the room, give a shout if you want your stuff played at all in stream today, because I'm happy to get you some more ears on that. I'm gonna make some clips out of it and help spread the word for you. Stoked to hear it, homie. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're getting good reception from it. All right, let's have a play. So you guys want to see something musical created, huh? Another cool thing about the Audio Design Desk platform is that Gabe, the masterman behind all of it, has been working on trying to develop it more as a music making tool as well, and that is a pretty interesting thing, working with a sync platform to make music. It's pretty awesome, actually. Okay, so that's kind of nice right in there. Awesome, Saf. I will check my mail in just a sec, and we'll take a look at that. See what you've been getting up to. We should probably set a BPM for this, huh? Let's do maybe like a 90 or something. Slow this down a little bit. Let's save our project. 14. Oh, hotkeys. Still set up. I keep forgetting. Save. Old habits die hard. I always use my keypad. Where did the MIDI note go? That's pretty weird. That's really weird. Where were we? Like a C or something? Yeah, I think that's about where we were. That's weird. Let's bring that up a little bit. And let's turn on some chase. Excellent, Saffron. I will take a look in just a sec here. Yeah, something super simple like that is going to be just fine, I think. We'll circle back to this. I would like to check out and see what kind of update Saffron has had. There it is. Downloading now, sir. Hey, how's the stream looking out there, you guys? It seems like Streamlabs has corrected the issue that they were having last week. Thank goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna fire up this clip. This is from Saffron Works. This is the update from the scene that we were looking at last week. Silent Hill monster scene that he's in the middle of scoring right now. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, man, this is really coming together. I would still add some kind of, some kind of sloppy chomping kind of sounds in here, a la the messy meat stuff that we were doing. Or no, actually, it was dogs eating from the files that Subvids sent through. There are some dogs eating. I would absolutely use those for the creature eating sound. The other thing is just going back to the very beginning of the clip. I'm going to run through this a whole time again, but the footsteps, I think, should be in a larger space and have a bit more reflectivity, because the room that you're in, as we scan through the room, you can see it's mostly reflective. It's a tile floor. You're hearing hard heels on a hard floor, and I feel like there should be an echo there, so that doesn't fall flat for the viewer. Let's see what else. I'd also place a small sound here of the gun being picked up. A little scrape sound is really all you need. It doesn't even really have to be like metal on tile, but if you want to make it seem fairly realistic, you could use like a soup can on your kitchen floor or something like that to get a a metal surface on a tile surface. If you happen to have some tile in your kitchen. If not, a tile bathroom counter or even a tub might work. You have to try and get the sound pretty localized, though. I think the tub might be a little hollow. If you don't have those, you could just do it outside. Smooth concrete surface. You could even use like a hammer being picked up off of the ground outside. It give you a slightly similar kind of a thing, and then you can use some EQ to kind of sweeten that up a little bit. Yeah, the footsteps are good. Maybe just a touch more room on them. Yeah, some gory slurping sounds there. Yeah, all in all, though, man, this is really coming together nicely. Big ups on it. I like where you're taking it. You're almost to the point now where you need to tune into, like what I was saying last week, the movement of the clothes and the body, and then it's really just a matter of, without any sound, scrubbing through the video and seeing what else in the space is being interacted with. Is there anything that's getting bumped? And I don't think so. So it's pretty cut and dry from here. It's really about making sure that all the sounds are in the right space. And that all the little things that you can do to bring it to life are done. I.e. character movements, clothing rustles, textile rustles, making sure that the balance of wet, dry, and the room environment is correct. What's going on here? Hey, it's a raid. Damien, welcome. Aloha, Rain. Boing. Paul, welcome. Damien, how's the rest of your stream? We are currently looking at a submission from SaffronWorks. He's working on redesigning a 30-second clip from Silent Hill 3. Someone walks into a room, grabs a gun on the floor, and realizes that there is a monster in the room with them. Machine Tracks, welcome. Or is it making tracks? You know, I think I've made the assumption that it's machine tracks somehow. Yeah, that is Silent Hill. That is Silent Hill. So Saffron Works, I hope that feedback helps you. I would encourage all of you to send stuff in today if you're looking for feedback, especially if you're working on scoring a clip with any of the sounds that we've been making over the past couple of weeks during our cool little Halloween campaign that we're running here. Machinatrix. Ah, okay. Andremia, hello. Thank you for stopping by as well. And while we are awaiting a couple of faithfuls, there's been a request that I produce just some music on the fly. So that is what we are chasing this morning. I am going to toss the link up in the chat here for those of you looking to grab new community sounds or new sounds from the community drive. You can do that here. There's a link. If you're looking to submit sounds to share with the community, if you want me to work on a sound live in the stream, or if you're looking for some feedback on something, go ahead and shoot us an email, holler@ohmlab.tv. You can also share a link in the chat if you want us to put ears or eyes on something. And here we go. Okay, I think I'd rather make my own rhythm on this one. But just as a simple little intro. No worries, Paul. So people wanted to see more contact instruments being used in a more applicable, relevant way for music making, since so many people have these tools and they think that, you know, maybe they're just for people working in film or games or something, but they do not need to be. These are absolutely worthy of your attention if you're making music. I'm just going to run through and create a couple of things really quick. So the questions are, how can I use these amazing libraries while I'm making music that's not necessarily for film or for game? And my answer is use the heck out of them, because these are fantastic sounds, and it's so easy to twist them up and make them your own nowadays. And we don't even have to use the onboard effects made available. We can absolutely use our own. Maybe automating this up a bit. Yeah, that sounds kind of nice. Maybe we'll do that. All right, so this will be a nice little intro, and we'll twist that up. We'll shake that up a little bit. Yeah, saffron, absolutely, man. Using these in conjunction with a nice convolution, built in ambient pads from all this stuff, absolutely. And you know, it's also they're highly effective tools for making things quickly. Not that quick is what we're actually after, um, but just knowing that you can find quick inspiration and ideas and sounds and textures that you can um, start adding into a production without having to really slow yourself down and manage other things, right? Um, we've all been there before where there are ideas flying around in the head and you stop for just a second to click on a couple of things and then you try to refocus and you cannot for the life of you remember what you were about to do, or something has shifted and you've lost the inspiration um, or the momentum. And this kind of stuff can really help you. Let's do maybe an ethnic drum here. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. And you never know what sounds you have at your disposal until you start listening through all of the different toys. So giving yourself, oh, it did not track that change. That's interesting. Okay, let me get back into that kontakt really quick and latch that. This is the tone. So we'll just go latch. For those of you not using the latch function yet in your projects, absolutely do. It's the fastest, easiest way. Let's go straight to bar 8 and we'll leave it open, I guess. It's the fastest way to find the parameters that are always so hard to find on their own. So you can see that the tone wheel is now moving here on its own. It's little things like this that you can do to just add a little bit of change over time. Make your stuff a bit more immersive for the listener. These sounds right here, ooh, we should turn some of these into creatures. I think I would like to use this sound at some point in here. Of course, I don't know where yet because I haven't made this yet, but we'll just put a little placeholder in here. I will oftentimes do this and just set this off to the side as like a little reminder that I found a cool sound that I think will probably fit at some point. It just helps to speed things up and it helps me stay in kind of the exploratory realm. Some kinetic metal, and then I think probably what I'll do is pull up a couple of patches that I've built for this type of stuff. I love kinetic metal. two sound nice mixed together. That's pretty uplifting right there. Let's see if we can make that a little more unsettling. Maybe something like that. See if we can make that a bit more nerve-wracking. That might be the ticket. And maybe we'll bring this in after maybe like 4 or so. And we will round that out and twist that up as well. On to the next element here. Let's get something really highly atmospheric going. Absinthe. Who out there is using absinthe? I'm constantly using it still. Let me just grab one of mine. There we go. All right, listen to what we have here. Okay, I think what we'll do is we'll move this over and get this in after like 8. Let's see. Yeah, maybe we'll put this in after like a 4 or something. All right. That's probably good. We can stretch this out here. Let's get this set up as just a bed. And maybe we'll juice that up just a little bit here too. Make sure we've got this on the start. And let's EQ this. Guy, I learned too much here. You know, last night I was making sounds for the first time in months, and it was like I knew what I was doing. I think I owe the credit for that to watching you. I say I learned too much because now I want to dedicate 2 days a week to sound design. That is not a bad thing. Let me tell you what, and this isn't because, you know, I'm on a high horse with sound design or anything, because I love sound. But the reason I love sound is because of music, right? And the reason why I ended up so far down the rabbit hole of sound design at many different points, but very early on, is because the more I focused on sound and sound design and creating with true intention and understanding, I could hear things, and this happens very rapidly, by the way, even later in life. I help people in their 70s and even older, like retraining their ears. Um, and it happens quickly for them too. So all of the stuff that you hear about ear training and fatigue and how later in life it just doesn't work, just throw all those ideas out the window. If you really focus on this stuff, and a couple days a week is plenty, you will completely transform how you hear things, how you think about sound. You will hear things in your mixes that you created that you never knew were there. And it's just amazing. Sound design is therapy. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it helps break down the filters. You know, a lot of people don't realize this, but there's a lot of filters in place. Auditory filters are some of the most abundant in our brains. We don't have the ability to not hear, not take in this endless decay of crazy noises all around us. It would just drive us absolutely bonkers. So our brain creates these filters. It cuts out a whole bunch of frequencies. It creates artificial decay rates. It does all sorts of things. And it's all in an attempt to protect us, our sanity. So as we can chip away at some of those filters and kind of lift the veil, we can hear with much sharper precision and detail. We can accomplish so much more in music. I work with people all the time and they say things like, it's unfair. How come you can do this? And why does it only take you a couple minutes to do that? It took me 2 weeks or something. And it's like, because I've done it enough times, and I can see and I can hear all these tiny little details that help guide me. And that's really all it is. Yeah, Saffron, I'm the same way. You got to do sound design every day. Yeah, absolutely. Sensory gateways. It is oddly relaxing. Absolutely. So you're saying I'm going to go crazy. Fun. Yep, that's exactly it. Yep. And practice, of course. Yeah, Saf, it'll help everything, right? It'll help your music. It'll teach you how to make better sounds for sound packs and games. And of course, all of these things translate into food on the table, a roof over your head. Yeah. All right, let me just take off. You know what? Let's get away from all of that. Let's do let's maybe do a tube. Super set, thank you for the follow. Fractal by Nature, I'm not sure if you're actually in here right now, but I just saw that you followed as well. Thank you. Let's do a tube. No. Let's do a console on this one. All right, and now let's mix this in with that. And we'll bring this up. And grab a curve tool here. Bring this up as well. Ooh, this needs something shrill. Okay, longer. Put that at about the 6 bar mark, and let's find something a bit more shrill, and maybe we'll also get something out of Absinthe for this one. I try to make my packs highly compatible with themselves. In other words, you can usually find highly compatible sounds in the same pack. This might be close. Let's go up an octave or two. It's a little too synthetic. That's a little bit better. Some interesting things in there. Might do that. This is simple. It could be this one. This one's nice. Ooh, yeah, maybe way up. All right, let's just grab a note here. And we'll get that set up here in just a second. That's probably going to hit around, I don't even know, 6, 7. Maybe it'll peak out around 7, drop out by 9. And what else do we want in here? We're going to need some kind of melodic thing happening here. I'm going to be, do you hear that sound? Yeah, you are going to be that guy. Okay. And it's going to feel good. When I sound design, I just zone out. It's a nice space to drift off into, isn't it? I hate when you say you don't need sound design when sound design actually helps you in a lot of ways for your craft. Yeah, you do need sound design in a lot of ways. If you're trying to, yeah, that's exactly where I was going, Adremia. I was just going to say, if you want to make something that's yours, you know, the goal is to get as close as you possibly can to what you're hearing in your mind's ear. Right. And as soon as you start putting stuff out, that starts to change because you're adapting to the output. And even worse, you might also be getting input from other people. Not that that's a bad thing on its own. It's great to have collaborators and other people providing, you know, opinions and perspective and stuff. But your decisions and stuff do change with those extra inputs. So you know, just chasing this idea of getting as close as you possibly can to the sound in your mind with something, you know, you can get there with practice with sound design. All right, let's see where we are with this. I used to do this all the time where I would just challenge myself to make like a little opener or trailer or even an entire track in you know, like an hour or something, but then do it several times in a day and then go back and see what I hear and what I can learn. Okay, so those things are pretty disparate, but if I put a riser in there, it wouldn't be. So let's just make one really quick. Let's just grab something really fast and easy. Let's do serum. And let's just grab one of mine. Several of you have reached out saying that you love the noises in the noise pack, and I'm glad. Maybe this phase rattle. All right, so maybe we start way down. Let me just turn this up for y'all. Maybe more. Let's do a let's do like maybe a formant on this one. And let's also beef this up on the backside with a little. Yeah, this will be pretty interesting. All right, so let's get our lows up just a bit and our highs up just a bit. Oh, that'll be fun. And let's do a little love on this one. All right, let's get this over here. All right, we'll move this over and we'll make this a little transition cue. So let's just latch a couple parameters here. So on this one, let's do the pitch. Let's switch this back over to read, and I'm going to bring this way up, and we'll make it hang for just a sec. Oh, and this is actually, where does this end? Okay, yeah, so those two end at the same time. So we'll bring this out to maybe 8.5 or so. So we'll start in this position and we'll bring this up. Where is that? Okay. Maybe a little bit farther. And let's just make that a pretty convex thing. And next, let's also just put a filter on the back end of this. Oops. That's probably good. All right, so we'll do this. And again, we'll follow pretty much the same path here. We'll just make it convex as well. And Dremia, I once made 30 songs in 30 days out of aluminum foil samples. It was fun. Now that is a fun, creative project. Okay, that needs to change dramatically. Maybe this will stay a linear path. And let's see, how high does this go up? Let's open this up all the way. Saffron, that's why I always start with the soundscape while I'm making music. Yeah, man. It's a good place to start. Get you in the mood, right? Sounds like you're pretty darn prolific at this point, Saffron. Okay, so we're just going to put a simple white underneath that. And we can use serum again for that. That's fine. turn this off. Get a little bright in there. And we could even copy this note down here. Don't copy that. And just do a little volume track on this one. Okay, now we can shape that one up a bit. Let's just do a simple tremolo on this, and then we'll sweeten it up a bit more. Maybe just like a half. Zero out the phase, so it's a volume change instead of a pan position phase change. Okay, so we're going to change that just a bit through automation. All right, so we'll go to our tremolo and then our rate. And right about here, we'll bring this up just a bit. Oops. And then here, okay, and then let's just put a little delay on there. Or maybe we'll even just put a little supermassive on there, just because we can. Nate! Good morning, sir. All right, we'll let that simmer for a bit. We really don't need to make this more complicated at this point. This is all just in an effort to get these things out into the palette. And I will bring down our main volume here. All right, so those things can work in tandem there. And we'll get them placed in the scene here shortly. Nate, thank you for the host, sir. Hope you're doing well, brother. How is the new machine treating you? And how's the stream bang going? I've seen you, I've gotten a notification of you going live a couple different times lately, and I've been right in the middle of something both times. We should coordinate a little bit. All right, so we need something to bring this to life a bit more with some tonal stuff. For those of you just tuning in, some folks challenged me to just make some music really fast, so that's what I'm doing. If you want to grab some sounds from the community sound drive, you can grab it right there. There's a link in the chat. We're working on a Halloween project right now. Sound here. All right, so on this one, let's add just a delay designer, I guess. Oh man, I've got to remember to get my fab filter stuff moved over. Let's do a That speeds up. I don't like that it speeds up. Let's take that swing out. Maybe take it down to 20. No, don't like it at all. That's better. All right, I just want something to flip on easily right at the end of this, so let's just grab from our delay. Let's do our, I guess wet is what we'll bring up. So we'll bring this up for the last bit and help it kind of build upon itself. Halfway through 7, peak it out halfway through 8 maybe. Maybe about half. Yeah, so it kind of builds on itself, gets out of the way within about a bar. That's good. We could probably do something with that. Nate says, I was working. Oh, no, you as well. My current schedule is mornings doing sound design, client work, and then evening fun music production. Awesome. Yeah, I've noticed you've been doing some night stuff. I'm going to be. I was thinking that I might start it up last week, and I never got to it. I just had way too much stuff on my plate. Might do one tonight, though. Maybe I'll just do some stuff for. I don't know. Still trying to figure out exactly what the nighttime stream is going to be. I know that they're going to be silent because I just want some production time, but maybe it'll be some of the stuff that I work on for output. You guys love output. Also got your email. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome, dude. Yeah, it was a good clip. In fact, if you're working on anything and you want ears or eyes on it, or just want other people to see it, you can feel free to send it on through today. Holler at email, or holler at ohmlab.tv. I'm just gonna type in the word email here. Working on a retro song for a previous game jam I was part of, and it unintentionally has a Halloween vibe to it. Oh, nice. Awesome. Good question, Saf. Do you think college is a waste of time for music production? For where you are and what you're wanting to do, yeah, I think it largely would be a waste. I think that you would probably be better served getting highly specific and specialized training, mentorship from individuals, or one-off courses. As Nate points out, trade schools versus universities. I think that you're kind of at that point. You already have a niche that you're going for. You have a basic understanding of the skills. You've been making music for quite a while. You're not necessarily wanting to go into full like mainstream music production per se. So I would say that you're probably going to be better served by working with some people that understand the niche that you're aiming for, and that you're really passionate about, and those people in those spaces are going to be willing to share with you. How long have we been doing sessions together? It's been like at least a couple of years, I think, right? Yeah, like me. And I'm happy to keep doing it with you, man. Absolutely. It's all about growth, it's all about growth and gaining confidence and then getting your first couple of sales, right? And once you get your first couple of sales, you start to realize that it's real, right? And everything starts to come naturally from there. You don't have to have a great deal of experience in the business world or have a great business acumen. You will get it. You will get it. You just keep making good sounds and stay within the realm of passion, and that's going to motivate you to make more. And that's all you need to keep doing in this space. That's all you need to keep doing. People proved a very, very long time ago that you can make obscure, off the wall, underground, esoteric, avant garde stuff, um, and do all right. People just need to find you. That's all. We've just changed the game a little bit. We're now in greater control over people finding us, just through the simple concepts of keywords and metadata and tags and stuff like that. And if you understand those things on the back end of this business, people will find your stuff, right? And if they like it, they're going to tell people, right? Because they are probably within a small social circle of other lovers of underground and obscure oddities like you're creating. So stay the course. Um, and yeah, what Nate says right here, I think community is very important. Um, if you can avoid school's finances but can be with a solid community, that's the win right there. And you've already started. We were talking about this last week in our session, right? You've already started um, down the right path, right? You're engaged in a couple of high quality streams with solid communities, with people that are there for all the right reasons. Um, and you've just joined the complete producer network. That's going to help. We'll get um, the network set up for Audio Design Desk here shortly, and that'll be great too. Again, it's not about the specific tools, or the specific computer platform or whatever. It's really about the community, right? Getting in there and talking with people and then jumping on opportunities when they happen. And when you jump on more than one opportunity, people notice. People notice. You don't have to be outputting anything fantastic or great in the beginning. They see your name, they know what's happening. Um, and the more they see your name, the more likely they are to play with you at some point, right? Um, and if people see that you're engaged, they will engage with you. Those are the big ones with community. um, Nate says Pure Mind was really great for me for the community aspect. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of really great people go through Pure Mind, and other places as well. um, but Pure Mind has a real strong kind of family unit feel to it because the the classes, the groups of people that are moving through the curriculum at the same time. There's multiple tracks happening within a year, but the different start cycles, those people stay together, and some very serious, strong bonds are forged there. Now, if you were to compare that to a larger university scene, sure, there will be more people, which means you have a larger pool to draw from for like-mindedness, right? Um, but you're also amongst a lot more people, right? You don't stand out as much, they don't stand out as much. And it's not quite as intimate. You're going to have other resources made available to you and other opportunities made available to you through larger universities, of course. But trade schools, small groups, um, anywhere from, say, 5 to 25 people or so, something like that, is super ideal because now the instructors, the teachers, the professors, the producers, whoever's teaching you, um, they have the mental bandwidth to keep up with all of you on a very intimate and personal level. They know your names very, very quickly. Um, they know your music, they know the changes that you've been making in your tracks, and they're plugged in. And your classmates can be even more plugged in, right? They don't have as many distractions at that higher level, and they're in creation mode with you. And they're really excited about sharing ideas and absorbing new ideas. And there's just this energy, right? So community is important. And, we're in a new normal. We're in a new normal. Everything is virtual right now. And, we should expect it to largely stay that way to a certain extent. Not forever and always, and not in all ways, but on the collaboration side of things and the learning side of things, I think people have finally come to understand that we live in the future and we've got this amazing thing called the internet and we can connect. People were not doing it as much as they should have been, I think. It's about the social network, to be honest. I have seen people go to school for music production and say it's hard, then left. Yeah, you see people drop out of any school. Any school. I'm a classically trained chef as well, and that's a really tough industry. So is the entertainment industry. They're both very high performance-based creative fields with lots of pressure and fierce competition and very strong demands. But none of it has to feel impossible if you're with the right people, right? If you're plugged into the right scene. Absolutely. Where were we with this music stuff? Let's just put a little curve on this bad boy here. Maybe we'll peak this. Something like this. Oops. Let's put a little something on this one. Maybe a little chroma. I get these questions from people sometimes about the various ways in which I tend to work that really speed things up. And one of the questions I get quite a bit is, how do you know if something's actually going to fit? Or why don't you care where you're really putting stuff initially? And the idea is this: it's kind of like oil painting to me. Every time I sit down with a DAW, it's a blank canvas. And I've got a bit of the Bob Ross mentality overall. I will move things around to help them fit in different ways. I might actually automate this freeze on here. And let's go bigger than that. Let's go to 28. Distance up. So for me, this is like picking some of the colors that I'm going to put on my palette. Okay, I want a longer decay. And I think I might just freeze that like right after it drops. Let's see what that sounds like here. Yeah, so just a touch after 9. So we'll do that. Chroma verb, freeze. So I was thinking just a hair after 9. So maybe something like this. Turn it on. I love automation. It just helps in so many countless ways. So yeah, I tend to just kind of toss things up. When I'm working on something like this, if I'm working on something for a client, I obviously have something very specific I'm doing. Ooh, that freeze is nice. know what? I think I'm going to freeze a verb on top of this kinetic metal as well. And of course I'll have to take that down at some point. I don't know how long the track is going to be. So I think what we'll do is we'll keep it on for the time being, but we'll bring it down. Over here. Nate says, 100% Chris. Well, I think we share similar views on those things in general, Nate. I definitely don't think that I have all the answers there, but I think that it's fairly decent advice for a lot of people looking to learn. Paul, welcome back. Back patching ominous sounds for my Halloween show, accompanying vintage movie dialogue, trying to avoid VST, but they are just too fun. Aha, yes. Have you picked up any of my dialogue packs, Paul? Oh yeah, I was going to do the kinetic metal. This one is kinetic metal. This one was a base. And this one was a perk. What happened to track 3? Oh, right, that's over here. Kinetic metal. And this was like a battery perk of some kind. Okay, cool. So now I can remember what they are. Just name them all. Easier to keep track of that way. Okay, so I was going to freeze a verb over the top of this kinetic metal, which I think is a pretty cool idea, which requires me to put a verb on it. Use a chroma for now. Except this one needs to change. Let's see here. Let's see, I don't actually want that much density in this. Oh, that's really nice right there. Let's push this back just a little bit. Okay, so about halfway through, I'm feeling that. That's a really nice effect there. So yeah, anyway, just getting back to the whole concept of just throwing things at an empty palette and then moving them around. I mean, wouldn't it be amazing if a great oil painter could just throw the colors that they want at the canvas and then quite literally just grab those colors and move them around in the ways that they want to over time, right? And allow them to interact with each other in unique ways. That's more my approach to making something when I don't have like a specific request or order in front of me. I'm going to take that verb. I'm going to freeze that. I might actually take it out of freeze for a period of time as well and bring it back in. But for right now, we're going to freeze this for a couple of the bars, right smack dab in the middle of this. See what that sounds like. This has a ton of low end in it, the mix already, so I'm just gonna move this focus just a little bit on this sound here. Make this a bit more on the piercing side, and let's do a... this is fine, but I do want a little bit more drive out of it. There we go. And then we'll just bring that down in the mix. Yeah, that's quite lovely. And dramatic. I like that. It's like ethereal and mechanical all at the same time. Let's set this into motion, shall we? See what we can get up to. Which one was that? Oh, is it this one? Yes, it is. Okay, I would like to bring that back up. It's actually quite nice. I'll bring this up just a bit. That brings some really nice texture. See what happens when we start to link the effects here. Oh, it's too much. See if I can get back to where we were with it. See what this sounds like in the mix again. Alright, so this one's done and gone by that point. This one, however, needs to play nicely with it. And I think it does. We can go back and start messing with our delivery of these other sounds. To fit the feeling of Halloween, maybe we could put like a piano right over the top of this or something. Something like that. Nice, nice, very sinister. Welcome back, Nate. God, Gosh, I've used kinetic metal on a lot of stuff lately. That's great, dude. I love kinetic metal. There's so many unique moving, like organically moving and shifting metallic sounds in it. It's so good. Yeah, likewise, Nate. Some for sound design, texture, and other for actual instruments. And there are oh, dude, there are so many cool things that we can do with this. We should do a stream or maybe even a week entirely dedicated to the numerous little goodies that come with Complete and these other suites, and how you can take tiny little tidbits from them and create an endless supply of brand new instruments for yourself. Um, just fantastic. Some of my favorite stuff to do with that kind of um, with that kind of content. This right here needs some stuff. Oh, and this Devil's Playground, that's peeking out a bit. Bring it down like 5 dB. All right, let's play with this bass just a bit. Also, you're mentioning to me sending the video. Oh, do you want me to share that video here, or are you working on anything that you want feedback on? That's what I was asking you. I encourage all of you to send through stuff if you're looking for feedback today on stuff that you're actually working on. I didn't put it in the title, so we wouldn't get a bunch of trolls coming through. But I am happy to check stuff. Oh, what is this? Out on the 31st. Hey, PJ, if you are still in the room, I just got your email. It looks like, okay, so your EP doesn't drop until the end of the month. If you want any of that shared in advance, teased, anything like that, you just let me know, man. I am happy to do that for you. Yeah, Nate, absolutely. Okay, so is this one that you just tossed up one that you're wanting some feedback on?
Welcome to Ambrosia.
Oh, this is something that
luscious,
Nate was putting
magical
together.
World with diamond mountaintops, sparkling sapphire waters, and boundless valleys of jade grass. Here on this phantom planet lies an island hidden from the rest of the world. This is Luke, one of its defenders.
Shut up.
He's a powerful gunslinger who would much rather spend his time curled up in his office perfecting his bloody KD. Unbelievable. He's a complete waste of space.
Do I know you?
Of course, Luke. I'm your father.
Wow.
Join one of our heroes, Luke, as he fights a never-ending physical and psychological war against a sentient virus in the sci-fi fantasy Twisted Fates. Perhaps you can help me get my son off his bum.
Get out.
Nate, dude. Can I just really quickly just tell you what I love about this? You've always been good at this, but I feel like, especially lately, you provide such supportive, creative content. That is something that is really difficult for a lot of people to do. Man, everything had a place, and everything was at just the right level. That's all I got to say, man. You've really started to hit your stride. And I'd love to see more of what you're working on too. Talking about trolls, yeah, Saf, I hear you, man. Oh well, hey, if you're looking for potential change feedback, let me tune in just a little bit closer on the finer details and see what I hear.
Welcome to Ambrosia, a luscious, magical world with diamond mountaintops, sparkling sapphire waters, and boundless valleys of jade grass. Here on this phantom planet lies an island hidden from the rest of the world.
I think water would
This is Luke, one of its defenders.
Shut up.
He's a powerful
there is actually.
gunslinger
Hold on just a
who would
second.
much
If he's
rather
speaking,
a full gunslinger.
there should be
Shut
something here.
This is Luke, one
Mouth
of its
moves.
defenders.
He should make a sound.
This is Luke, one of its defenders.
Shut up.
He's a powerful gunslinger who would much rather spend his time curled up in his office perfecting his bloody KD.
Maybe a tiny little transition
Perfecting
sound,
his
like a
bloody
little...
KD. Curled up in
That's
others
scenes
spend
here.
his time curled up in his office, but others spend his time curled up in his office, but others spend his time curled up in his office. Others spend his time curled up in his office.
This sounds like a
Others
beat.
spend his time curled up in his office. Others spend his time curled up in his office. Others spend his time curled up in his office perfecting his bloody KD.
Love the room sound here.
Unbelievable. He's a complete waste of space.
Do I know you?
Of course, Luke. I'm your father, Luke.
You.
Of course, Luke. He's a complete waste of space.
Ooh, again, maybe you could even put in a little effort or kind of frustration sound there or something.
Do I know you?
Of course, Luke. I'm your father.
Wow.
Join one of our heroes, Luke, as he fights a never-ending physical and psychological war against a sentient...
Since you had a bunch of whooshes with his movements earlier, you should probably keep continuity and put in one last one here as he moves his arms.
Join one of our heroes, Luke, as he fights a never-ending physical and psychological war against us. I'm your father.
Wow.
Join one of our heroes, Luke, as he fights a never-ending physical and psychological war against a sentient virus in the sci-fi fantasy Twisted Fates.
This is great.
Perhaps you can help me get my son off his bum.
Get out.
That was so good, dude. Yeah, very, very few things to pick apart in that. Maybe some footsteps in the beginning. Maybe giving him a couple of grunts. All right, where are we here in the chat? Orobu was an absolute pleasure to work with. It sounds like it, dude, and I hope that you get to work with Orobu again in the future, because you guys are obviously clicking. Paul likes it. Had the sound muted, just watching the dials you're turning and trying to imagine the changes to an imaginary sound was interesting. Yeah, I bet. That's a great little exercise. Let your mind fill in the blanks, right? I got to change all my timers on this thing. Really paid close attention to her vision and honed in on that hard. Absolutely, dude. Sounds good. She sent over the dialogue stem from her voice actor. Maybe she has some outtakes. There's one there just on the mix. Okay, cool. That's probably that swoosh. 9.99 out of 10. That's awesome. All right, where were we? Oh yeah, we were going to add some heat to this bass swell here. And you know, honestly, if I were really producing something new for me right now instead of using the kontakt stuff, I would probably, I don't think I've even moved this over yet. I probably just speed everything up by grabbing something out of Nova, which is a fun little sound pack of just baseballs. I bet I would probably have something in there that would match quite well. But you know what? The interesting thing about this is that thermal is what I use to do quite a bit of that modulated saturation. So let's dive in and see what we can find here. Maybe some creative clipping. Maybe that's a bit too much. That's an interesting one, huh? Oh, those freezes are actually quite nice in there. It just feels like this suspended state of animation or something. Where are we at here? This is like 42. Let's add something big. Let's add something big to this. Back into kontakt. What other questions do you guys have about using kontakt to make use of libraries and stuff in your everyday creative work? So I'm happy to answer those questions. And it gives me a chance to flip through and play with some of these kind of more easy bake libraries that I don't really play with all that much. Christ, thank you for that review. Hey, no problem, and you can call me Chris, Nate. Just kidding. I see that typo all the time. I like to make fun of it. Not you, just the typo. I blame the lack of artificial intelligence built into the keyboards, personally. Oh yeah, we'll definitely dive into songs, guy, for sure. Absolutely, I can't help myself. My God, this sounds amazing. Definitely need to check out Thermal soon. Oops, just realized I called Chris. Andromeda, I just use stock Ableton stuff. I'm no expert. You don't have to be, and stock Ableton stuff is good. Been listening to him and gospel quite a bit lately, so I didn't even think about anything when I saw you comment that. What is an expert, Andromeda? Yeah, that's a good question, guy. Absolutely. A professional, one that feeds themselves with what they do. Okay. Okay. I would posit that I know plenty of people that have made quite a bit of loot in this game, and they aren't nearly as talented as a lot of people I know that aren't really playing in this game. Designing my show entirely as a VCV patch, about 20 tracks of sounds to choose from, maybe 10 more to be designed. Try not to rely on samples for all synthesis. I like it. I like that. All right, I'm going to hit record. Let's bring this back here. I really don't work at 127 velocity of anything. One thing I would recommend when you're working with any of the big libraries in Kontakt is to make sure that you just quantize the very beginning of your regions. Make sure it's a hard snap, because most of these things are synced very, very tightly, and they fall out of time very easily. To carry over. So we'll keep this. I'm just going to put in some mod wheel changes here. Now, like there's a bunch of different stuff that we can do. Oh, it's funny, I stopped in a freeze spot, didn't I? I guess maybe I'll just write this in manually. That might even be enough right there. So this just, just simply moving the mod wheel every once in a while adds such a dynamic change that it becomes so much more immersive. Draw people in. It's just barely. What I'll do is just take our volume down here, and then I like to play in these spaces of unexpected processing. So I'm just going to toss some thermal on these drums here really quick. That's nice. Is my mod wheel automation not picking up there? What's going on here? Velocity. Looks like yeah. Weird. Drummy says, yeah, sometimes it's who you know rather than how good you are. I guess you need to be somewhat of a salesperson. I'm okay with sound, horrible with people. Guy, I have a fun idea perhaps. What if we send you sounds we make that we believe are horrible and try to stump your ability to shape them into something nice? Absolutely do that. This is something that the people in the chat that can attest to that were, in classrooms with me over time, is that this is an active challenge in the classroom because I posit that there is no such thing as a bad sound anymore. You can always find some kind of purpose for it, even if you have to mangle it or use it as simply like a sidechain trigger or you know, the starting point of an impulse response or something. There's always something creative that you can do with any sound. So bring it. In fact, we can do entire challenge streams about that kind of stuff, around that kind of stuff. One of my favorite challenges, actually, in the same exact thread, this is always a class favorite, is if you have a group of like 10 or 12 people, this at least this works out really well because it becomes highly interactive and people really rush to be the first. So the challenge is name any sound and then name another any sound. This is usually two people. So one person shouts out one thing, and I've had really crazy things like dying walrus or flickering light bulb and like just randomness. And then the second sound that people shout out are the sound that I need to start with, which is a ridiculous challenge. Another one that's a class favorite, a crowd favorite, is designing the room that we're in. That's always a hit because people are absolutely gobsmacked by the end that all of the little sounds that you're hearing in the room can be created from like a single sound, right? So another variation on that is you pick a scene and then you build that space, not design the whole scene, not all the movements and everything, not a character-driven endeavor, the actual space. And those are really fun immersive challenges as well. Andromeda, that's what I call sound design. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm saying give them sounds that are just not cool, ones we believe are impossible to shape. There you go. Andromeda, I can make a soft pod out of a Coke can opening. There you go. Like the 808 cowbell, but worse. Yeah. Granularizing, reverbing. Yeah, absolutely. Saf says, I can make pads out of anything. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Welcome to my tots where all the bad sounds come to die. Oh, yeah. No sound is bad in my book. Well said, Saf. Especially if you're making lo-fi glitchbient music. Yeah, dude. Absolutely. All right. I don't know why this mod wheel automation keeps coming back. What do we need to do here? Maybe we'll just drop this all the way down. Maybe there's something happening in the reset there. There we go. Maybe now it'll play nicely. Andromeda, yes, you can post a link, of course. Anybody else working on things that they want feedback on, you just post a link in the chat, send through to holler@ohmlab.tv. For those wanting to download more new sounds from the community drive, do so here. There's probably been some new stuff added since you were last there. Zev, welcome. How you doing, brother? I've been challenged to make some music. That's what I'm doing. Using kontakt stuff predominantly. Although I have slipped in a couple of my own patches here and there. Just kind of showing people what you can do quickly with these things. So this, let's put a huge verb on this. Let's put a really big verb on this. I know that sounds like a terrible idea right now, but bear with me for just a second. Let's see what we can get up to here. Let's do okay, and let's just push this. Oh. There we go. Okay, so we'll automate this on. Right at the very end. Just the very, very end here. Oh, maybe it just actually needs to be in the tail here. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And right after that, maybe just like a half bar pulse here. All right, let's jump back over to our wet output here and bring this down just a bit more. I just want kind of an industrial feel added to the beginning of that kinetic metal coming in, and maybe that will help us get there. This bad boy here should probably come to an abrupt end. Says, I emulated a werewolf sound out of an aluminum foil sound. I'm proud of this one. We are going to check that out right now. Yeah, I think that little metallic-y kind of perk verb fits nicely feeding into that kinetic metal there. I wonder what we can do tempo-wise to finesse this into a nice little trailer piece. Where is your link, Andromeda? Hey, I want to check in with you guys. How has the stream been today? Because I've seen 0 issues with Streamlabs today. It seems like whatever they were bumping up against last week with their update has been fixed. Anybody see any drop frames or anything out there in the stream today? Good. Okay, so this is Andremia. Please tell me if I'm saying this name correct. I've been rolling with this pronunciation. This is a transformation of tinfoil into a werewolf sound. Name is correct. Good. All right, here we go. Oh, that's awesome. I like it. I like it. Great. About to grab my Tascam and head out to make some new effects sound packs to show you tomorrow. Excellent, Zev. I am so looking forward to this. I want to know what out there in the world is grabbing your attention. You know, I am more fascinated by that sometimes than by what I find myself. It's so funny. When I was young and learning how to play different instruments, because I learned how to play a lot of them halfway, not taking any lessons and just kind of dinking around, doing the best I could, figuring it out myself. And friends would do this with me. And it was always so fascinating to me just how differently they approached whatever they were trying to figure out compared to me. And I think that kind of was a seed that was planted early on inside of me that's kept me super interested and enticed by what other people are drawn to. When I was still chefing, there was this constant black box challenge element in the kitchens that I ran because I wanted to know what other people would do with the same exact ingredients, the same amount of time, in the same exact space, with the same exact tools that I had. So I was constantly running all these little challenges and stuff. And it's fascinating to me because no matter what, without fail, it's always different. People always make something different than you. So yeah, I'm very interested to see what you're drawn to. Sounds like this sound could be used as a scene or an intro, especially the History Channel. Yeah, right? I tried to make something hideous by doing random things, and I think I figured out how Noisia makes half their sounds on accident. Did it involve FM synthesis, just using sine waves and sawtooth waves? Did it happen to use distortion or saturation on reverb? Did it happen to use resampling of a note played back as a different note? Because those are like half their sounds right there, half their techniques. Love those guys. Today on the History Channel, we're going to be taking a look inside India's darkest plans in the caves where we seek to the Hindi gods from thousands of years. Let's look inside. Is that what's going on in your mind when you're listening to this piece that I'm working on right here? That's awesome. That's awesome. Love the Ableton sampler. Yeah, dude, the Ableton sampler is great. Nate, all right, Chris, I'm heading out. Day job. Good to see you as always. Thanks again for the review and extra input. Hoping this will grab a potential employer soon. Remember, Nate, you're not trying to attract a potential employer soon. You're trying to attract your next client. Okay? You, sir, are valuable. And so is what you do. Mental mind shift. Enjoy the day, brother. Avant-garde way to play instruments. Yeah, right? Guy says, okay, I'll give this patch out if anyone is interested too. I'm going to email the sound to you. It did, of course, use FM, but also, well, randomness. Excellent. Tamed randomness. Saf says, don't beg for a job. Yeah. Well, take what's coming to you, or what's coming your way initially, and then take it from there. Zev, thank you for stopping by, brother. I will see you tomorrow. Yeah, I guess you are running out of sunlight there on the other side of the country, aren't you? I will see you on the flip. I'm looking forward to hearing what you come up with. Speaking of sessions, those who are wanting to book sessions right now, you should get a message into me soon, because it's taken at least a week to get people in right now. Sometimes a couple weeks, depending upon what kind of frequency you're looking for. All right, so getting back to this challenge of make something. Let's make something. How many of you out there are creating short format music, like an intro piece or a trailer or anything like that? Okay, so that needs to change. Life Jacket, thank you for the follow. Let's just adjust the volume mix on this one just a bit. So we bring in our delay. Let's just go like halvesies on this one. Interesting little trick here. Maybe 10 dB or so. And then we'll ramp back up in this one. Reverb freeze. All right, let's see what that little ramp sounds like. It might work. Subvids, welcome. Saf, you'd be very good at it. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about harvesting sounds out of your projects, right? You make a track, it's a hit, and you want to make some money from it instead of just trying to get, 15 cents at the end of the month from Spotify or whoever. And so you decide that you're going to sell some of the stuff to other producers, or that you're going to sell the stuff into licensing or something in some way. And the easiest way to get rolling with that is harvesting stuff from tracks that you produced well and that people really enjoyed. This is the same concept. You take a larger idea. We could make this a 10-minute cinematic immersive experience, and we could pull out a 30-second trailer, a 10-second teaser, a 15-second intro, an 8-second outro for a podcast, right? Yeah, you can do so much by just kind of harvesting and finding little piecemeal variations on something larger that's being produced. So for those of you who haven't done this before, it's something fun. How about for games? Absolutely. Yeah. You need to do a lot of short form stuff for games, a lot of small looping elements, lots and lots of segues, transitions, stingers, and trailers. Trailers. We live in the age of streaming, and there is a whole new approach to gameplay now, right? Where there's this subscription element and these seasons and episodes and stuff. And every single time a new expansion or season or whatever comes out, there's got to be a trailer for that. And there's got to be supportive elements for that, not just in the game, but in the marketing as well. And those are different. there are so many spaces that you can creep into in this industry, and find a place for everything that you're outputting. Um, but it's super fun, you guys, to figure out how to take part of a piece of music, and flip it. Not necessarily like in a remix sense, but what other kind of value can be found in this 4-minute track that you just produced, right? And if you can find a segment of it that can loop well, maybe it's just like 10 seconds or something, or 30 seconds, um, then you can start learning how to create things for video games, right? Because if you think about the type of audio that's in video games, it's a lot of loops, it's a lot of small files. It also gives you an entry point into the television sync world, right? Or even better, for an entry point nowadays, just getting started, look at all the videos that are going up on YouTube every day. There's millions of new videos, right? And a lot of them need audio. And a lot of them don't have a lot of money to spend either, right? And it's a lot cheaper to buy a little 30-second loop and loop it a couple times in a 1-minute video, than it is to pay for 1 minute of audio that's professionally produced and it's like unique or bespoke to them or that project. Um, so yeah, exactly. That's the mentality I'm talking about, Saffron Works. You already have a ton of this on your drives. All of you do. All right, I feel like we're missing something here. I know that this is just kind of like a blank challenge that was thrown at me, but I would like to add a little more, maybe something. Oh yeah, I was thinking about maybe some piano, right? Oh no, I'm running out of coffee. I think I have to go grab some coffee and come right back. And we're gonna add something, maybe a piano, maybe a couple of things. Maybe there's a combination of things here. And then maybe after we add this piano element, I'll show you guys how to give it the real cinematic punch that we're all used to. All right, I'm going to hit the be right back button, and I will indeed be right back. And I'm back. Catching up with the chat really quick before we do the piano. Guy says, I've been trying to figure out how they make sounds like this for years, and then I just slap LFOs on random things and boom, emailed it to me. Okay, great. Let me just jump over and find that. How the hell does me just closing my eyes and twisting knobs turn into the sounds I've been trying to understand for years? Well, it's entirely possible that it's how they discovered their own signature sounds and maneuvers. Oftentimes that is the case. Let's check this out. There you go. There you go. If you're interested in the intentional approach to this, what are you using for your FM? FM8 is an absolute beast. I know that they love using FM8, as do I. Are you an FM8 guy? Insert amen break. Serum, okay. Also an easy one to work in. And yeah, the flexibility of the LFOs and stuff in there are great. One thing that's really nice about FM8 specifically, and I think this might be another reason why they enjoy using it so much, as do I, is the morph matrix and the easy morph tab, which allows you to implement a timbre envelope and modulation, as well as affecting the traditional volume envelopes. Yeah, they have been making the switch to Serum. Make a Neurofunk track. Yeah, we can do that too. But yeah, it's fun to go in and use the morphing capabilities of FM8, and you can run audio through it, right? You can even start with something inside of Serum and then port that into FM8 and use that. There's an input in the FM routing matrix inside of FM8. Seriously dope and deep stuff. So we're going to add like maybe some kind of piano and then some cinematic punch, and let me just check and see. Let's see here. Where is my... Okay. What are we doing here? Some Kontakt again. Sticking with our Kontakt theme here. Let's just pick one. Maybe we'll just do the giant. They resample an FM8 I saw when I was watching them. Oh yeah, you said it. Sound design is mostly just patience, I think. You know, I've found that there is kind of a recipe to success with that type of stuff in sound design, and it's maintaining a balance of intention and exploration. So discovery is still like this omnipresent piece of your personal experience, and you have intention driving the entire thing, right? So allowing yourself to know why you want to twist a certain knob is great. Not dictating in advance how much or which direction that knob has to move every single time is a really great pivot point, right? You're no longer reaching for a knob at random, so there still is that element of intention. You can still do that. You can still grab for knobs at random. But if you don't understand the intended use or like the function of that thing or how it might be interacting with the other things that you have moving around at the same time, then it could be hard to get back to where you were, right? Get back to that happy spot. So just finding that nice balance of intention and exploration and allowing discovery to just be part of the everyday is so important, because if you're trying too hard to be intentional all the time, it's not that great. It's not that great. I've been down that path. It's a bit of a grind. You discover a lot of things and you become highly systematic about some things. You become very like precise and scientific about some stuff. But you kind of lose this organic fluidity, this well, I guess the point that I'm getting at is that even when you listen to these iconic sounds from these iconic individuals, um, it doesn't mean that they knew what they were doing when they stumbled into that sound. And chances are, if it's a groundbreaking, highly innovative kind of sound, a very signature, unique thing, it was not. It was not about. It was not brought about through pure intention. Most of the time, a lot of time, there's discovery in there, and there's this "oh whoa" moment in that person's world, and they're going to chase that thing to the end. Right? They may even build an entire project out of it. It's just like a writing prompt, right? A really good writer can take something really simple and build something crazy out of it. By the way, is anybody watching Nurse Ratched out there? Used to spend hours on one sound, but I'm splitting 20 sounds a minute. I don't know what I'm doing, but I do it anyway. Oh yeah, the song choices were brilliant. The writing. Can you believe that all of these crazy twists and turns and characters and all their choices and everything just came out of Nurse Ratched in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? There's no backstory there. There's not like anything. There's no source materials here. They just made all that up. That's just amazing. Making random sounds is fine, but making sounds that fit together is different. Yeah, it is. It is good. Oh, you rewatched it? Yeah. Have you ever read the book? Because the book is told from a different perspective. I haven't watched the movie in years, but I've seen it many times, and I've read the book a few times as well. But let me think here. The movie is from Jack Nicholson's perspective, I believe. The book is from the Native Americans' perspective. I think I'm not even sure if he has a name in that book. I think he's called the Indian, I think. And then Nurse Ratched is just this. She's just a piece of work, right? Oh my goodness. Read the book in high school. Yeah. Yeah, it is an absolute classic. Subvids, absolutely. Awesome. Yeah. I think it's a pretty interesting piece all the way around, but this Nurse Ratched is just next level. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I can't remember what got us into that. Oh, writing prompts. Writing prompts. And the same exact thing is right in front of us with this. You guys were tossing around the idea of a writing prompt earlier about, who was it? Was it Guy? Was it you that said, hey, can we just send you like the worst possible sound and see what you do with it? And the answer is, yeah, it's just like someone saying, hey, we haven't seen you do music for a while, make something. And then I do. But it's even better if there's like some restrictions in play and all that kind of stuff, because it just takes you out of the norm. It just takes you out of your normal operating systems and routines. What about the Black Boys? They are funny. Did the show make you sympathetic toward her, or not sure where you are in the series? Oh, I finished it. Finished it a couple nights ago. It's funny, I watch things 1 hour at a time now. I usually have about an hour or so of screen time at the end of the day, and then I usually go back and I work some more. But um, it's really nice just digesting it at a steady, incremental pace like that. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, guy, absolutely. All right, let's add some keys to this. I'm just putting a little pluck into this because I think that it might be kind of nice to maybe reverse these. Oh, and in fact, instead of doing this through a more traditional means, let's just play in real time with something a bit different like a portal and see what this does for us. Let's find a nice little reverse something. Um, oh, let's reverse this. Maybe I'll flip it after I... Oh, there's quite a bit of latency here. Why is that? Mass and speed. All right, maybe I will turn this off and just record something really quick. Maybe just like a super, super simple creeping. Here, let me just, I think I might actually even just type this one in here. Let's see what we get up to. All the way down to 0, eh? All right, let's do a think I'm going to keep this extra super simple and let my processing make it a little bit more interesting. Let's take this in a different direction here. Let's bring this up like this. Yeah, it's a little bit cooler. Yeah. See if we bring in just a touch of that pluck transient in there. Oh man, the bit reduction. I love taking simple sounds and making them into something that you can't quite put your finger on. It makes working with this kind of stuff so much more interesting. Greek endorsement, absolutely, dude. Not quite as subtle as that. Okay, so I think what I might do is this a happy spot for this? Before I do anything else with this, I'll play, bounce it, flip it, so we get a nice little reverb build into each hit. there's a trick to this type of reverse work here. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Makes me wonder if maybe there's an intro opportunity here. Let's play with that. Bring all of this over. Let's say it might be a 4-bar build. Let's hope that all of our automation moved properly. Oops. Let's bring this back over 4. And we'll just say 1. Let's take and EQ this. Just to take off the low end so these two can actually play together. What do we have here? What happens if we just do something like this? Let's try that again. All right, maybe even a little riser action in there to add a little subtle tension. Anybody out there using rise and hit? There's something I never open. Let's maybe just dial in a quick little interesting riser with that. This turned John Carpenter quickly, right? The addition of a piano. Uh-huh. Ooh, Westworld. That's a good one, Saf. Man, I grew up on Westworld. I still have not actually watched the new HBO series in earnest yet because, well, one, I want more of it because I already know after watching the first couple that I needed to stop because I wanted a more immersive experience. I wanted more that I could tune into in succession. But man, I grew up on Westworld, watched it a ton. Yeah, there's actually a ton of really good stuff on YouTube, and a lot of that stuff can end up being in the public domain. We should maybe do a stream on just sourcing public domain stuff. Some of the biggest empires in our business have been built out of public domain stuff. Let's look at Disney. Oh, dude, Future World. Dude, seriously, Paul. Absolutely. Guy. Yeah, what is it about the originals back then always being the best, huh? There were so many good things. So many good things in that era. That's back when you could actually watch, you know, like Westworld followed by like an episode of Land of the Lost and wrap it all up with a episode of Fantasy Island or something. Buck Rogers. Okay, a couple things here. We were going to add perhaps a small rise and hit element here, and I'm thinking that maybe some interesting breath work throughout this to kind of give it a sense of atmosphere, and as well as just a bit more tension here and there and interest. Let's see if rise and hit has anything that we're interested in here. Maybe a little sub drop. I never play with this. Well, that's actually pretty nice. Oh, I see. Okay, so these are the rises and those are the tails. Okay, and this is the volume mix. All right, so let's offset these a bit. I don't want just sub. Maybe even just a bit more. Okay, so this is the timing, so we can bring this up just a little bit. Oh, it hard snaps? Oh, bastard. That's cool. Okay, so I'm going to add this. So this is going to be a, what is this, a 4 count? So if we change this to an 8 count, we can move this to a 2 bar. Is that kind of the gist of this? Okay, and we're going to need a boom. We're going to need some kind of cinematic boom here. So let's do that. Back to Kontakt again. Let's go damage on this. And I want something kind of big and mean. That's the one. All right, so let's record this. I'm hearing some chimes or something at the beginning of this too. Other sound is going to do for us here too. Yeah, I definitely hear some kind of chime or something up there. Let's do some kind of like weird haunted, twisted kind of chime thing here at the very beginning. Back in my time when we all went over to the neighbor's house to watch movies on the radio. Oh, that's great. By candlelight. You know, soon I think the next generation is probably going to have um like maybe just like a little time machine or something, right? Hey, let's go back and watch that old Robert Downey Sr. movie by candlelight. Saf, is that question? What if hip hop was a trend? A multi-generational trend, maybe. It's hard to call it a trend. Yeah. What if hip hop was a trend? I think hip hop is the natural evolutionary step. Personally, I'm glad that it was a reclamation art, but I think that it's an evolutionary step. Yeah, it's a cornerstone. I think that it's just as fundamental as rock and roll or jazz or Gregorian chant. Exactly. Which we should probably put a Gregorian chant in here now too, right, Paul? Let's see what that second sounds like here. I didn't even hear it. Guy, holy crap, this makes me feel so inadequate. I look forward to the day where music and sound comes this natural. Oh, dude. It will. It will. What is mask in this one in the mix here? Oh. Well, one, it's not even on time. But it turns out I really don't like that one. Maybe it's not the right one. There it is. There it is. And I really don't need a big impact. That's probably good. And maybe a little distortion. That's a bit nicer. More. That's better. And let's just ease up on the impact. Now, how does that affect this one? I don't think I like it as much. Well, maybe. Let's see. This riser, I want more from this riser. Oh, thermal. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, sometimes it's so much fun to play with presets, huh? Oh, ho, ho. Okay, there's some freaking gravity there. I want to bring simple back over here. Let's do that. Let's say this is going to be thus. Sure, we can copy that. Okay, let's kill this. Let's bring this up like this. Even more subtle. There we go. Let's see what this sounds like. Oh, yeah, and I love the vacuum effect there. Let's bring this up even higher. I love it when things get sucked down into a vacuum like this. Damage is great, subvids. Okay, I want a bit more from that sub. Oh, which means we've got to fix our piano a bit, I'm sure. No, we already rolled off the subs anyway. Just want more from this. Maybe this is why I don't really use Rise and Hit very much. I just want more from it. Yeah, okay. Let's bring that back just even more. Subvids, do you have complete? There we go. Oh yeah, that's good. Now I would like to just bump this up a bit on the EQ side of things. Let's do a... Well, maybe I won't need to with that riser in there, actually. Additional white riser. Let's see. No complete. When the 50% off sale happens, if you happen to find yourself in some coin, that's when you grab it, man, because you can get several $1,000s worth of stuff for a couple $100. Okay. Well, that just kind of makes me wonder if maybe I don't even need to make that change to Beware the Colts. So maybe I'll bring this back over hard snap it to 5. Bring this back in again. Good question, subvids. When I know, you'll know. I would not be surprised if it is a holiday sale this year. Now I probably made this a little too hot. All right, so I was originally thinking that I was gonna flip these. So let's do that. Let's flip these these piano notes. And then the next thing we'll do is we should probably open this up and do like maybe a little, oh, we can't do a strip silence, but we can chop these at least. So we can, yeah, you know, maybe I'll just do a, this is a 2-bar. So if I hold down, what is it? Is it Option, Command, cut? Yep, there we go. So every 2 bars I get a chop. And the reason why I want to do that is because I want to reverse these elements in the right order. This one is a double hit. I'll take this one. And oh, where's the next one? Almost 9. Right. Yeah, so now what we do now that they're chopped is we come back in here and we reverse them. And the reason why that's done is because if you were to just bounce an audio file and reverse it, it's going to reverse the entirety of it, right? If you stop and think about it. So we'll just highlight all of these. We'll reverse them individually. Okay, and then to get rid of that wonk, you just figure out the timing of each one of these. So we'll have to move everything in our project over a bit. Again, where are we time-wise? This is, ooh, almost a minute. Great. All right, so we're going to move this over this much. And I'm just going to manually shift these. Maybe I don't even want this one, maybe. Oops. Just take this one over here. Maybe I'll take this one. And see what this sounds like so far. And maybe I'll even hold that for one sec. Bring this one over. This one over. These are our 3 highs. So we can juxtapose these. This one, this one, this one. And we'll just take these last two, copy them over, get rid of these. And it's over. What's our stop time now? Oh, this will work out beautifully for a 1 minute little piece here. Oh, and we need a big fade on each one of these in. And a short on the way out. So they kind of suck up on themselves here. We'll go like this and bring this way down. I'm not sure if I really like it, but hey. Yeah, it'd be cool if it was Black Friday, Saf, because that's coming up soon. When the moon is full and the wolfbane blooms. Any drummers use NI Machine Micro? I've used Machine. I'm a drummer. It's pretty sensitive. It's pretty good. Yeah, you got to be sure about the license. Make sure it's released before you purchase. Yeah, I would absolutely buy that new. There's little spiffs that come with it, right? They always give you a little coupon. You can buy some stuff with and whatnot. 60 pounds of food? Wow, what a legend. You're right, guy. That's freaking amazing. Yeah, Machinist Native Instruments. Yeah. Hey-o, Zev, how was the outing? What did you snag? Yeah, definitely gonna have to massage this one, but I'm glad that I was challenged to make some music today because I'll probably finish knocking this one out tonight, unless you guys want me to save this and we can just finish it on Friday. Yeah, this would be cinematic music. Yeah, if I was to upload this to a portfolio, this category it would be in for sure. And then the subcategory would have to be like suspense or drama, probably. Don't want to pigeonhole it into horror. And just kind of playing with the idea of making this 1 minute, you would need to just simply put a nice little reverb tail on those last little elements there, and stretch out the beginning here to make sure that we have something that's worthwhile. I'm thinking, I still kind of hear some kind of maybe granularized wind chimes or something like that. Maybe just like a, what's that called? A glissando, right? Washing machine, some bicycles, found a metal rod. I ran across a bunch of stuff. Found some wet books I thought might have some unique sounds. Taking a listen now. Good excuse to get out of the house. Absolutely. Get the blood pumping a little bit. Get some fresh air in your lungs. You know, I feel like maybe what this actually really needs in the beginning is just a hit of something. It's like an interesting little impact. So maybe back to damage for just a quick minute. Get some fully on that 8th hard drive you have for sounds, right? Yeah, subvids, please. You can always ask an off-topic question. If I'm not in the mood to answer, I'll just say so. You're always welcome to ask me what you want. McDSP 6060 pack for 99. McDSP makes some good stuff. My question would be, do you need it? Or do you already have stuff that does the same thing? So if you have stuff that does the same thing, then I just save it. I never really use the rev. Oh, you know, a lot of things can simply be solved with some breath, huh? Let me take a look at this, Paul. It does look pretty good. I wonder if I have any way to make an additional discount happen on that for you. I wonder how long this deal is running through here. Let's see. If you're not pulling the trigger on it today, I can check and see if I can get you a little more on that. How would I make a single drum recording sound like several drummers? That's a great question. Now, is this something that you're wanting to do like more of like a drumline effect, or is this more like you have one taiko drum hit and you're looking to kind of make a big thing out of it, a big ensemble out of it? Yeah, it'd be good to know. Yeah, wait a week. Yeah, I'll take a look for you. Well, one of the easiest ways would be Kontakt, just simply because you can line up so many different samples in a rack. You can process them as individual instruments in that rack, or you can set them up as groups and zones. One djembe player sounding like multiple players. Yeah. Okay, so first, what you'd want to do is make sure that the sample that you have is really good quality. And then, and by good quality, I just mean that it sounds okay stretched out up and down a couple of steps. It doesn't have to be more than that, because you can actually, and this is worthy of a stream right here, you can actually rework, if you will, recorded samples into different steps, as long as you do it incrementally, right? If you go up or down 2 or 3 steps, excuse me, and it still sounds good, then you can bounce that and bring that back into the same exact sampled instrument, and work from stretching a couple more steps and bounce and repeat. And then you'll want something creative to work with, to help with timing of the delivery of notes, to help it make just to help the delivery to seem more natural. I actually have a MIDI pack for that exact purpose. And I will play an example for you, because I used a similar kind of method for that. Just need to find it here really quick. All right, so this pack is called Polyrhythm, and it's using that same kind of approach here. So all the sounds are being triggered by MIDI, and different samples were placed into a sampler. Some of them were the same drum, kind of stretched out across a few keys. Some of them had to be bounced and brought back in, so you don't get artifacting in there, and they end up sounding really authentic. And a nice thing about using polyrhythmic triggers is that they're offset in unique enough ways that it helps bolster the perception of reality, if that makes sense, right? If one was to listen to this very closely, maybe they would say, I don't know if that's actually a person playing that, or if it's a sound being triggered. I've got questions, I have doubts, but the fact that it's presented in this polyrhythmic fashion, it lends credence, right? So part of it is just the sounds and how they're set up in the sampler, and part of it has got to be part like just how it's being triggered and presented. Yeah, okay, so that should answer the question of them not being quite in sync, but then also you can change within Kontakt. You have a couple of different modes. Playback modes that you can select that will help in this, because some of them are going to affect playback and speed simultaneously, and some of them are going to just affect pitch. So let's do this. Let's just grab a simple drum. I thought I was just going to go into some simple percussion. Let's get some simple percussion. I thought it was going to be easier. Maybe I'll just grab a simple hit, because I don't think it's going to happen. I've got to have some drums in here, right? Sorry, I'm in the midst of still moving a bunch of my stuff. I hit a wall, you guys, with moving stuff over. I'm just going to grab something from the library really quick. I hit a wall, and I've completely dropped off on moving more stuff over the past few weeks, and I just need to get back to it. Orchestral world, percussion, djembe. We'll grab a single note. I don't want any articulation, please. How do I turn that off? Options. There we go. All right, well, we'll say that we like this one. It's a lousy sound, but hey. Let's just bounce this, and then we'll bring it in to a Kontakt instrument. So that's now a wave file. So now I can take, and inside of a new instance of Kontakt, we'll even just bring it into the same one. Why not? So let's get rid of our instrument here. we're going to bring in this single wave file. Oh, right, of course. Let me just save my project. Okay, I do it now. All right. So Mapping Editor will show you just how much you've stretched this. And it's not going to be all that believable, right? Let's just look at the wave editor. Let's bring our endpoint back. This leaves some to be desired. Bring up our amplitude a bit. All right, where are we in relation here? So this is our root, which is right here. And if I go down an octave, it's too much. And if I go up an octave, it's too much. So what I could do then is take, well, one of a couple things. First, we'll take a look at this. If you change the if you change the mode that you're operating in, DFD is direct from disk. It's going to affect pitch and playback speed simultaneously. If you pick a time machine option, it's going to affect only pitch. Now all of a sudden, this plays a lot better an octave away from the root, but we can still make this even better. So instead of stretching it a whole octave, what we can do is just stretch it a few steps. And then we can bounce these. So here's one. So here's the top. That one sounds okay. This one maybe is the best stopping point here. So what I would do is I would play this and bounce it, and I'd play this and bounce it, and then I would bring those in at those note positions, at those same exact note positions, and I would stretch each one of those just a few steps. And if you can get yourself a couple of octaves, then you've got yourself a slightly better setup than trying to stretch it out across multiple octaves. And then on top of that, you can use the little round robin trick that I've showed you guys in the past, which is to use a, it's called an external source. Go into random bipolar as a trigger. So it's going to move in two different directions instead of just one. And then you set the range of that. This is random bipolar. It's affecting volume. We're going to bring down the range of that modulation to like maybe 10% or so. And then we'll just do the next one. External source, random bipolar. This is pan position. And let's say that it's going to affect it like maybe 15%. And then the next one, tune, external, random bipolar. And now let's just bring this one. This one's here. Let's bring it way down to like maybe half a step or something, right? And get back into the chat here and see if this is making sense to you. Yeah, it's all the same. It's all the same concept, right? Taking a sample and moving it into MIDI is just putting it into a sampler, right? And vice versa. Witchcraft. Yeah, it's a clever little maneuver, but you end up with a really awesome thing, because here I'm just going to trigger the same note several times. Right, and you can hear that there's some detuning in there, and we can back off of the amount of change if it's a little too off pitch at times. But just keep in mind that, you know, as you're hitting the drum head, I'm a drummer, so I really like thinking through this stuff. As you're hitting the drum head, there will be times where, you know, there will be palm mutes and stuff in play. And if there is pressure on the head, it changes the pitch. So this is much more true to nature than just allowing it to sit idle at one steady pitch the whole time. You can even go so far, though, as to affect speed. Now this has got to be done in a very, very subtle fashion. And what you're doing is you're creating kind of like a round robin, right? You're creating the illusion that you have multiple samples of each sample in your multi-sampled instrument. So I'm hoping that this helps you get into that space that you're looking for. Might need to request this in an FL sampler because I have to clone and play with envelopes to round robin. It's kind of a nightmare, to be honest. Yeah, I would agree with that. It is a hindrance indeed. Guys, I got a boogie. I have a couple things that I need to wrap up outside of the stream before I walk into my next session, which I believe is Saffron Works today. Saf, if you're still out there, I will be seeing you shortly. Again, anybody else looking for sessions right now, hit me up. Just shoot me an email or something, or a message here. That's fine. It may take a little bit of time to get you in, but we'll get you in. It's become pretty popular for people to put little placeholders in the queue. I'm fine with that if you need a couple of days to figure out payment. I'm totally fine with that, putting something on the books first. Next time I see you will be Friday, and we've got to get into some sync stuff, so we'll dig into that. I'm glad that we did the music stuff today. That was fun. Subvids, I hope that workflow helps with Kontakt here. The reason why I show it in Kontakt is because it's easy, but it's also cross-platform. Like, you don't have to rely upon a specific DAW or whatever. But the concept can be applied to any sampler. They should all be able to do pretty much the same kind of thing. Yeah, Guy, thank you very much. Absolutely. Shout it from the mountaintops. We're letting this one grow organically right now because I want nothing but people that are genuine and passionate as our core group. Eventually I'll lift the curtain and this stuff will go out onto YouTube and stuff as well. But I want to make sure that our Twitch community is taken care of. I will see you guys in a couple of days. Stay inspired. Go out and find awesome sounds. Make awesome sounds. Don't forget to upload to the community drive. If you want to test the new form, if you've got a Google account, you can use this. If you want to just send directly to me and let me handle putting it up on the drive, I will do that. If you want to download sounds from the community drive at this point, that's the link. I'm going to leave this up for just a couple minutes as this stream fades off into the distance. I use Kontakt loads and like to play with samples. Yes, going to try that trick. You bet, dude. Absolutely. I'm glad that you're liking it. It should work out well for you. And if you're having trouble getting the timing and stuff correct in the delivery, that MIDI pack is cheap. If you're on a budget, I can send you a coupon or something. It's nice just to get away from the ordinary, everyday, average timing of things, and polyrhythms are obviously ideal for hand perks. So, all right, kitty cats, I'm going to see you on the flip. Y'all take care. I'll leave you with a stream ending screen so you can click around on links and talk with each other and whatnot. As always, I appreciate you, and I'm glad that you were here with me today, and I'll see you soon. Peace out.